What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mr. Fix-It channel. Still working on the Polaris Scrambler here, and it's needed one of everything. Stay tuned.
I was sitting out there in the shed one evening, not doing too much of nothing, just kind of staring at the wall. And
well, I'm starting to run out of things to do to this project, and that's a good thing. So now I want to start looking at a modification here before I go any further. So these Polarises only have one brake lever, one master cylinder, and it runs all three brake calipers. So when you apply this lever, you're applying front and rear brakes. Now this has gotten me into some big trouble before. I was coming down a hill, it was steep, rutted, and curved, and it was turning to the right downhill, and the ruts made it work. And anyway, the rear tires locked up, the quad slid sideways, and I tumbled down the hill. I think I want to try to alleviate that by having a rear brake and a front brake separate, independent, like, you know, on most normal quads. So my plan here is I have this master cylinder, attach that guy right there, use that for the rear, use this one for the front, and down here you have this distribution block. This is your brake light switch, and you have the one coming in from the master cylinder on top, and you have the right front and left front brakes, and this one over here is the rear. What I would like to do is take the line from the master cylinder, connect it directly to the rear, and then take another line from the right brake and run it into here. Yeah, so I'm going to try to do some stuff. It would be really cool to have independent front from the rear brakes. So let's get into that. Alright, now to make this brake system work the way I want to, hopefully, these are some of the items I had to get. So I got a piece of brake line that's 1/4 inch, that's the part number there. I had to get this adapter. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I do not have the part number for this. This will adapt into this will thread into the line for the master cylinder. Alright, this goes to the master, that's the banjo. So that's metric, that threads into there. And I also had to get a union. This is a 1/4 inch union to put the two pieces of brake. Anyway, there's a lot of screwing around here. I also had to get a pipe plug. That's the part number for it there. So it's just to plug off, because I'm going to have on that distribution block, I'm going to have one open spot. So I need to plug that off. So I had to get this part, this part, this part, this part. I wish I knew what this was so I could tell you what it is. And then the adapter. This threads into this here, which allows me to connect this Imperial 1/4 inch line into this metric, what I think 6 mil line, something like that, 7 mil line. I'm not sure about the metric sizes on pipe fittings, but so these two get me to this. This will get me in a distribution block. This will union my master cylinder, my rear brake, and this will cap off the open spot. So let's see if all this nonsense is going to work. Alright, see how that's going to work there? And then that'll go right into my distribution block. Alright, just to state the obvious here, this is not the correct master cylinder for this Scrambler. This is something that came off of another bike. So just pointing that out there. So what we got is, yet again, we got Imperial threads going into metric threads. So I do have a little bit of a leak right here, so I'm going to have to address that. Also, this master cylinder needs rebuilt. If you'd like to know how to do that, I'll put a link up here into the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tap, I'm going to run it in, because it'll start to thread in, but it won't thread in far enough and it won't seal. So I'm going to use this tap that, and I can thread this in, and hopefully it'll seal after that. Maybe a little bit of Teflon tape or something on the end of this to get this to seal. Alright, cool. There's the rear brake. I still have, you know, the parking brake function. Front brake, independent. I will have to make a bracket for this line here and zip tie this down here, you know, so it doesn't shake around and stuff. But that worked out nice. Front and rear brake independent on the Polaris Scrambler. Alright, normally the headlights mount to this bracket here on the handlebars. I'm not going to put the headlights up there on the handlebars. I got 2 lights down here already, plus I'm going to have another light, which I'll show you that later. So I'm going to take that off. Alright, while I got the handlebars loose, I'm going to go ahead and straighten this. You can clearly see that it's the steering stem that's bent. So I got a piece of solid round stock in the clamp, and I'm going to put a long bar on here with some, you know, get some leverage, like a jack handle or something, and I'm going to try to bend that straight. Yeah, that's a lot closer. See if I can go just a little more. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on it. I'm afraid something's going to break. That's much straighter than it was. Alright, I'm going to go with that. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Nice. Alright, so there's these clips that the screws go into. It's missing a few of these. So, have to replace a couple of these here, like that. This is what those are. Alright, got a new vent tube on the gas tank, new fuel filter installed. Let's get this on there. So I'm just getting the rear fenders put on here. I am missing this, you know, shield here, whatever you call that. I got that one over there, but it's not in the greatest of shape, so I'll have to figure out something for that. But even more importantly is, yeah, someone's painted these plastics. They look terrible. So I was able to find the nose cone or hood cover, whatever you want to call this. This is off a 250 Trail Boss. It does have a headlight in it, so this will work just fine on this Scrambler. And also got the exhaust heat shield. I got these parts from a local junkyard, Gorgon's ATV Salvage. That's in Butler, Kentucky. So look them up. Alright, getting real close for a test ride. I'm waiting on one more part. It's the bracket that holds the seal in. That should be here today. So hopefully I get that installed and I get this cover on. Other than that, I need to wire up the lights and everything. That should be pretty much it. I should be able to take this thing for a test ride. Hopefully today. It's raining like crazy, so maybe not today, but we'll see. Still got a few hours before the mail gets here. I'm gonna get these lights wired up. There's a headlight in this part, so got 3 lights to wire up. Looks like these are the headlight wires here, which they've been cut. So I got some wiring to do. Alright, so these are car fog lights, and you can see here, they're carrying pretty close to 5 amps a piece. So that's 10 amps. And what that's going to do is that's going to overwork the charging system and drain the battery. These lights are not going to work on this Scrambler, so I'm not even going to put these back on. I'm going to delete these lights. These will work good on a car as fog lights, but not on this Polaris ATV. So that just leaves me with this one headlight, and I got to get this thing wired in. This plastic is pretty sun bleached. I might try to fix that, because that's what it's supposed to look like. Alright, so yellow is high beam. Not getting any voltage out of that. Switch this to low beam. Green is the low beam. Not getting any juice out of that. And how this thing is wired is there's the red-white wire. This one here going into that bundle. That feeds power to the override, to the starter button, and to the headlights. So if those functions are working and I'm not getting headlights, something's in this switch. So I think I'm gonna have to break open this switch. Maybe contacts are dirty, corroded, something. Uh-oh, I feel the threaded insert inside this switch stripped. That's not good. I might not be able to get this thing apart. That's fun. Head of that screw stripped. Get out of here. I'm trying to film a video. Well, I'm not having any luck here. Oh, you just never know what you're gonna struggle with. Well, that was a pain to get into, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get these screws out to get new ones in. And looking inside here, you can see there's the yellow and green wires, and the blue wire goes to the lights. Now the wiring diagram didn't say anything about a blue wire anywhere, and if you would look closely here, here's that blue wire cut. Now this blue wire should be going, there's blue right there on this board, but there's no other blue wires going to it, so this would need to be connected to the red white. So theoretically, if I put a connector on this, connect it right there to the red white, I should be able to get power to the headlights, but I got to deal with these screws. This here is what I thought was going to be corroded. This is your headlight switch. Touch that. Tell me if it's hot. Alright, now after all that screwing around, see, I need to strip that back. Okay, I should have voltage on these now, hopefully. There it is. So all that screwing around, all I had to do was oh well, at least the screws will come out, and I don't know. Alright, since I'm only going to have one headlight for now, alright, I'm just going to wire these lights up temporarily, because I may do something a little different here later on. So I'm just going to use a butt connector. I'm just going to clip this one off clean. That'll give me somewhere to plug the light in, so I'll have like high beam only. Alright, the part I needed for here, this metal disc that holds this in, that finally arrived. Get that installed. I can put the clutch and the belt and the cover on, and maybe a test ride. Alright, so that horrible noise is the belt drive cover rubbing on the clutch. You can see this belt drive cover is all worn out. I think what happens after time is they shrink, so don't pay any attention to that. Yep, got front brake. Oh, I wish it wasn't raining and it's so wet. That's it, she's running. I don't want to get it too dirty. I still got work to do to this thing. rain on the lens here. Clean that off real quick. Well, there it is. It's running and driving. There's still a few bugs to work out. I need a new cover here. It seemed like it had power for what little bit I got into it. I just threw roost all over the yard. The four-wheel drive seemed to work. Hey, moving up in the world. Cooling fan kicked on. Heck yeah. Wow, that was a lot of work. That took several hours. It doesn't look perfect, but it looks way better. So it's brought back most of the color. All the chalkiness is gone. There's a little bit of a shine on there. Okay, now I just need to get the paint off the rest of the plastics and this thing might look not so bad. Well, I got a few bugs to work out on this thing, but yeah, she rips. Need to replace the head gasket. This is my overflow bottle for now until I can get a replacement one. You can see it's full, so it's pushing pressure into the cooling system. Got to fix that. This belt cover is trash, so that needs replaced. I think the carrier bearings need some love. It needs an alignment. The steering stem bushing needs fixed. But overall, I am very happy with this $200 machine. I'm going to go in there and replace that steering stem bushing. I'll put a link right here if you want to learn more about that. Alright, there's quite a bit of wear on this steering stem, so I'm not going to be able to get all the play out. A lot of the play was the rivets that hold that bushing in, so that's all I can do. That's way better, and it looks like all the play I got now is in the tie rod end. Both of them are a little loose. But hey, it's better. And I had another one of these, so I'm going to go ahead and install that guy on there. These engines are liquid cooled, but they're also partially air cooled. That's why it has fins on it. And this ductwork draws air in through the belt, cools the belt off, and then the air that comes out comes through here and blows onto the cylinder head through this duct here. So that part's, you know, important to have. And while I was in here, I did go ahead and replace that head gasket with a brand new gasket. I didn't film any of that because I have a video on that. I'll put a link right up here. Oh my, you want to talk about a lot of work. That was a lot of work cleaning these plastics off, all that paint, and there's still, it's not perfect. I didn't sand this to perfection. There's still some deep gouges and stuff I couldn't get out. Looks like someone peeled these stickers off with a dull shovel. So this is plenty good enough because I'm going to be plunging this thing into the dirt, right? So yeah. So now that I've got it all cleaned up, let's go get it dirty. Alright, here it is all cleaned up. I'm getting ready to make this thing that color. Well, I wish I was at the park, but the park is closed this time of year, so we're at the settle with my backyard, and oh my god, it is so wet down here. So, oh well, show must go on, right? Hey guys, if you made it all the way to the end of this series, I appreciate your attention. Some of the best ways that you can help support my channel is by subscribing, giving me a thumbs up, leaving a comment, hit the super thanks button, and don't be afraid to fix it. Thanks for watching.